We were at Comedy Brickworks or Bricktown Comedy.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at the posters of people showing up. I see Corey Holcomb's here in a couple weeks. I saw Carlos Mencia. And I'm like, people still book this guy. That's insane to me. Carlos came out here on Vlad TV of all places. Narc Central.
Yeah.
Friggin' we do not support
Keep in
Vlad.
mind, you have to pay to go on his show.
Ugh.
Meaning Carlos paid to be there.
It's gonna just become every comedian is gonna get accused of stealing jokes. And that's pretty much what's happening right now.
Pause. You're garbage. This is gaslighting at its ultimate peak. By me getting accused of being a joke thief, it was gonna open the door for everybody to get accused of being a joke thief.
You hear that? You got accused of stealing jokes?
Oh, seriously? You didn't know about this?
You didn't know about this? Look how happy I am to tell you. Joe Rogan's the thief, not me.
But even like with the whole Cat Williams stuff, he started calling people out.
Like the way he worded that.
I know.
I knew this would happen. This is my biggest fear.
And that's why I stole jokes. Like what?
There is a little bit of hypocritical news, bro, that we have to bring up.
We do.
Mr. Carlos Mencia, who is somehow still active in the comedy game. If you're not aware, Carlos Mencia is a comedian who was really famous in the 2000s, like the 2010s, I believe around there, mid 2000s to the 2010s. Had a show on Comedy Central, all this stuff. He became super famous. But what unfortunately was happening behind the scenes in the comedy world was this guy was a prolific joke thief. He would show up to multiple clubs all across the country. It was well documented. Many people had accused him. Many people had proven it. And then obviously Joe Rogan was probably the main or the biggest accuser vocally back in the day. So he kind of became associated with that whole Carlos Mencia thing. He's kind of the reason that Mencia got fully exposed and his show got taken away and all this stuff. What I didn't realize until we went on that Texas comedy road trip, when we went to Oklahoma, and then we were at Comedy Brickworks or Bricktown Comedy.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at the posters of people showing up. I see Corey Holcomb's here in a couple weeks. I saw Carlos Mencia. And I'm like, people still book this guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane to me. In the world of comedy, that he's been able to continually work after like very vehemently admitting and not caring.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I'll take your joke, flip it, remix it, and make it a hit. And then just telling people's jokes verbatim.
Yeah.
So that guy just recently came out. And again, remember, the main accuser or the most vocal accuser back in the day that really got him taken down was Joe Rogan. So you got to imagine that he's kind of had some vendetta or something just lurking in the shadows against Joe. Carlos came out here on Vlad TV of all places. Narc Central.
Yeah.
Friggin' we do not support
Keep in
Vlad.
mind, you have to pay to go on his show.
Ugh.
Meaning Carlos paid to be there.
Vlad is disgusting. His content is garbage. He is absolutely a fed. You can't tell me otherwise. Like what he is to hip hop, he's like the snitch police, bro. He's really good at making people snitch on themselves. It's really insane. But they snitched on themselves. He's just asking them questions. Yeah, it's an interview. Go away. Go away. But he went on there and he said that Joe Rogan was stealing Brendan Schaub of all people. Do you have the clip?
Do I have the clip of Mencia or
of Mencia?
Yeah, I'll pull
He
that.
said Joe Rogan on his latest comedy special stole Brendan Schaub's joke.
You don't know about this?
If you don't have the timestamp
this-
close,
yeah.
because I don't want to look at
I didn't have the
exact.
but I can let me pull up the other video because it cuts it.
This guy
cuts it in.
sucks. Nobody support this man. I don't know who is. Like, he's super huge with a lot. Is he writing his own material? Like, I would love to really figure this out.
Who is Carlos?
Because you
or
could say
Vlad?
whatever you want about Joe. Like, bro, his comedy is womp, womp, womp. And his comedy special was but. And to be honest, though, I did hear other people say that he stole Schaub's joke.
Because it's very similar.
It's such a generic joke, though.
Yeah.
That is, I don't like, it's just, I just think it's not funny.
Yeah.
You know?
agree.
I think most of that comedy special was very generic. And it was mid. Like, I don't think he needed to steal a mid joke. Carlos Mencia was stealing people's hits.
Yeah. because he knows what works.
And just straight up. Stealing a Brendan Schaub joke is rock bottom for a joke thief. The only jokes Carlos Mencia wasn't stealing were Joe Rogan's. That's hilarious.
Because now
He also just got accused himself. So,
Oh, he got accused of stealing jokes?
well, you don't know that?
No.
Oh, you don't know that?
But listen to
Who accused them? Nobody was out here really making like a stink about it.
Well, aside from like
The-
the elephant
the-
graveyards and those people.
Though they're making the jokes that of like he's the guy that said Brendan Schaub can't even
Yeah.
perform at his club and now he's stealing his jokes. Like, yeah, they're making the joke videos about it and stuff.
Yeah.
But nobody is making a fuss the way people try to
No,
get
he's
Carlos.
making the fuss.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
But even listen-
You haven't heard about
No,
this?
but listen to Vlad's voice here because he's like, I haven't heard, but he's obviously heard
Fed.
about it. Listen,
Garbage. Yeah,
Oh, he got
garbage.
accused of stealing jokes?
Well,
You
you
hear
don't know
that?
that?
You got accused of stealing
Pull it
jokes?
Pull it up.
Oh, seriously? You didn't know about this?
You didn't know about this? Look how happy I am to tell you. Joe Rogan's the thief,
Well,
not
the way
me.
this is laid out is failed comedian Brendan Schaub takes credit for a line that sounds familiar.
The main reason that we are bringing this up is because what he
is it Brendan
specifically
Schaub?
says is so egregious about he literally tries to downplay everything he did.
Right?
What exactly are you looking
Policeman got caught. Like,
This.
whether what he did or didn't I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not getting involved in it. It's not my
I'm
thing.
not
but
getting
it's
involved
just
in
like,
it. He's literally the guy creating it.
This is what you started. This is what we started with all this bullshit. At the end of the day, my biggest fear, so to speak, came true that this joke stealing stuff is going to be so prolific for everybody that it's going to just become every comedian is going to get accused of stealing jokes. And that's pretty much what's happening right now.
Pause.
yet it's so funny. He's
You're garbage. You suck. He's so delusional. And I'm falling for it. I'm falling for it. I know this is a troll, bro. I know he knows what he did. I'm falling for it, so I can't get emotional about this stuff. But like, what a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
As a comedian, as a human being, to still sit here. This is gaslighting at its ultimate peak. I knew it. By me getting accused of being a joke thief, it was going to open the door for everybody to get accused of being a joke thief. And that's what's happening now. It's a pandemic of people getting accused of being... No, it's not.
Yeah.
Nobody's out here stealing jokes.
Some people are.
Their name Carlos Mencia. That's all I got to say about it.
But even like with the whole Cat Williams stuff, he started calling people out.
Like
But-
the way he worded that.
I know.
I knew this would happen. This is my biggest fear.
And that's why I stole jokes. Like what?
I see, like, bro, I hope, oh my God. He shouldn't be allowed to perform. Like, who's booking him? I get, like, bro.
The thing is,
He has an audience.
He still has an audience that's willing to pay. So if he's willing to pay, the venues are willing to put him up.
And the people that are, like, that's not, like, you know, that's like mainstream lowest common denominator, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you know that, if you're a comedy fan and you know that this guy, let's say he was your favorite back in the day, and then you find out and you are a comedy fan,
Yeah.
this guy immediately is discredited.
Yeah.
And you don't even bother giving him any of your money anymore. You go see the guy who he was stealing.
Yeah, but what if you don't know that?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that tells me the majority of his audience just
Maybe they don't know, or they just don't
general. That's probably a lot of it too, man. Most people just don't care. But that to me is general masses.
Yeah.
Those people don't care.
care. Yeah.
You know, and that is where people go to make money. You go to the general masses. And then the beautiful thing about the masses is, okay, you might be a news story for 15 minutes, but they forget. Because guess what? They're being bombarded with bullshit
Yeah.
all the time. And like, how can you even pay attention to most of it? Yo, Carlos Mencia, we give you the double finger salute. You know what I'm saying? You deserve this and a million times more. I hope your comedy career burns. But it won't, unfortunately, because that's just how this goes. And you obviously know that. I knew this would happen. This is my biggest fear, that I would steal the most prolific jokes in comedy history and then be accused of it. And then everybody else would be like, hey, man, people steal jokes. Let's accuse other people. Yeah, let's continue to accuse people that are stealing jokes, especially when they're at the highest of levels.
Is it really accusing, or is it like, hey, you're stealing
You're
a joke?
stealing jokes.
That's not.
There was
is
no
that-
accusation. You
yeah.
were guilty.
Yeah. Here's proof.
You're a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
You're a piece of garbage. Nobody wants this from you. Anyways, that's this week's comedy recap and this week's comedy news. Carlos Mencia continues to stink, continues to be the antithesis of comedy. And I can only imagine what material he's telling on stage right now. He's saying this about Joe Rogan while actively probably stealing like his whole friggin' set. Or like, oh my God. And his jokes, lowest common denominator jokes, like lowest common denominator.
He's not, his name is
Nothing
not,
unique.
his name is not even Carlos Mencia.
We're done with this guy. Yeah, but you're right.
He's not even a Mencia. You know what I mean by that.
Correct. And that wasn't his mind.
Huh?
I do know what you mean. And that wasn't his mind. The mind of Mencia, I think, was his show. But none of that came from his mind.
Yeah, someone else said he should do that. But what I mean by, like, he's not even Spanish, is
I know. He was born, or he has half. He's like half something.
Okay.
German or something like this. Like it's European
I don't know.
something. But
Either
he
way.
sure plays up the freaking.
This is Black Zeus, the podcast season 5.
I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Once again, the Patreon is launched. If you do want to watch my comedy special right now, you can do so. It's only $10, and you can get it as part of the subscription fee. So, like, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get it that way, or you can just buy it outright for $10 that way. Once again, for transparency, I will release the comedy special for free on the YouTube once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can also just hit the subscriber button and just do that. You can support that way, whichever way you want to support. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I don't necessarily use it the way everybody else does, but I'm there if you want to find me. AKA Black Zeus is the person to find on those platforms.